sights, sounds, and information just for you from your friends at ASM.
Welcome to the turn of night.
Oftentimes, when I share a tale of revenge, it has a supernatural element to it. Sometimes, though, the truth is stranger than fiction, or even science fiction. And sometimes, well, it's just a story. Here's one involving two of my acquaintances. It's a tale from beyond the grave, or in it, on it, next to it. However you say it doesn't really matter. As always, the story I'm about to tell you is completely true. I don't mind helping you, but this is not exactly a sunny landscaping gig. I can't help but be a bit freaked out by this place. Shovels hit the fresh cemetery earth, and together they worked fast and as quiet as they could be. It was 11:25 p.m., and the moon was tucked behind some clouds in the dark sky. The cemetery had been closed for hours now. Some places believe graveyards to be bad luck. Some say that's where black masses take place. The regular religious stuff is scary as it is, but when you start throwing in magic and sacrifices and voodoo... The second man remained silent and worked steadily away. The first man continued, I know, voodoo is a religion and all, but that stuff scares the hell out of me. Baptisms, holy ghosts, never mind the talk about witches and things. They were halfway down the grave now. My cousin once, brought this girl to a graveyard because they were both into that stuff, so they went into one at night. They saw a UFO fly over, no joke, an actual spaceship. Of course, they were having some wine and a bit of weed, but that stuff doesn't make you hallucinate like that. The second man glanced up occasionally and went back to work, almost expressionless. The first man stopped to sip from his water bottle. He cleared his throat and began to speak again. Ghouls are a legend that I heard of. They hang around graveyards at night to eat the dead bodies. Can you imagine that? They also go after the living too if they get in the way. I don't like that one bit. Oh yeah, and what's the whole thing about graveyard dirt? They make a thing called goofer dust. I heard people died from it, or at least went blind or got sick. No way. I'm washing these clothes when I get home and polishing these shoes. I don't want none of that on me. I know there's other things in there, but I ain't taking any chances. They had neared the end. The second man, silent this entire time, motioned for the first man to exit the grave when his shovel hit the casket lid. The first man spoke once more. Look, I know you're paying me to be here, but if you want to back out now, I'll understand, and you can forget about the $300. I mean, even without all the scary stuff, grave robbing is a real serious crime. The second man, still silent, shook his head and waved his hand to show he wasn't bothered. The first man watched in fright through the dust. His flashlight hand remained steady in spite of his nerves. The coffin lid was pried open. The second man reached in and quickly took something out. He closed the lid and began covering it up with dirt again. He climbed out, took a breath, and slipped a silver watch on his wrist. He paused to admire it. Finally, the second man spoke. "This is my watch. That lousy bastard stole it. They were going to bury the thieving son of a bitch with it." The first man stood looking on in disbelief. The two men began filling in the grave, though this time both of them were completely silent.
The lights are on as the evening shadows are creeping in. Hopefully, you won't get caught in the turn of night.